Hey there, fellow clean freaks! Stains are an inevitable part of life. Whether it's coffee on your shirt or ketchup on your jeans, these unwelcome guests always find us. But fear not, for I'm here to arm you with the knowledge and tools to tackle even the most stubborn stains. Throughout this video, we'll delve into the world of stain removal, uncovering the secrets to banishing even the most stubborn eyesores. Get ready to say goodbye to stain-induced stress and hello to a cleaner, brighter world. When it comes to stain removal, time is of the essence. The longer a stain sits, the harder it is to remove. So the moment disaster strikes, don't hesitate. Act quickly and decisively. Throughout this video, we'll equip you with the knowledge and tools to handle any stain emergency. By understanding the importance of swift action, you can significantly increase your chances of stain removal success. They say knowledge is power, and nowhere is this truer than in stain removal. By understanding the science behind different types of stains, you can select the most effective cleaning methods. Each stain and fabric combination requires a specific approach to ensure optimal results. We'll break down the science behind stain removal, providing you with a solid understanding of how different stains interact with various fabrics. By arming yourself with this knowledge, you'll gain the confidence to tackle any stain challenge that comes your way. Let's kick things off with a common scenario, the dreaded coffee spill. First, grab a clean cloth and gently blot the stain to absorb as much coffee as possible. Run the stained area under cold water, working from the back of the fabric to push the stain out. If it's stubborn, try a pre-treatment stain remover, but always test it on a hidden area first. Finally, toss your garment into the washing machine with your regular detergent. With these simple steps, you can conquer even the most stubborn coffee stains. Next up, let's tackle wine stains. Act fast. As soon as the spill happens, blot the area gently with a clean cloth. Sprinkle a generous amount of salt onto the affected area and let it sit for at least 30 minutes. The salt will absorb the remaining wine, drawing it out of the fabric. For stubborn stains, try a mixture of equal parts hydrogen peroxide and dish soap. Apply the mixture, let it sit, then rinse and launder as usual. Let's face it, ketchup stains are a rite of passage. Start by gently scraping off any excess ketchup with a spoon. Apply a small amount of liquid dish soap directly to the stain and gently rub it in. Rinse the area thoroughly with cold water, working from the back of the fabric. If the stain persists, mix a solution of equal parts white vinegar and water and apply it. Finally, launder the garment as usual, using a heavy-duty detergent. Berries delicious but notorious for leaving behind stubborn stains. Act quickly. Blot the stain to absorb any excess juice. Pre-treat the stain with a mixture of white vinegar and liquid dish soap. Apply it liberally to the stain and gently work it into the fabric. Allow the mixture to sit for at least 30 minutes. Rinse and launder as usual. Let's talk about fabric. Each fabric has its own strengths and weaknesses. Silk demands gentle persuasion with mild detergents and cool water. Cotton can handle hot water washes and even bleach, but always check the care label. Denim can take a beating, but be wary of harsh chemicals like bleach. Linen prefers hand washing or gentle machine cycles with mild detergents. Knowing these quirks can mean the difference between a triumphant stain removal and a fashion fatality. Ink stains, those tiny dots of despair. For permanent marker, color over the stain with a non-permanent marker and dab with rubbing alcohol. For ballpoint pen ink, spray hairspray directly onto the stain, let it sit, then blot with a clean cloth. Repeat as needed, then launder the garment as usual. Another method is to use hand sanitizer. Apply it to the stain, let it sit, then rinse with cold water. The alcohol in the hand sanitizer acts as a solvent, breaking down the ink molecules. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Pre-treat everyday spills and splatters immediately to prevent them from setting in. Embrace the power of stain-resistant sprays and treatments. These create an invisible barrier on fabric surfaces, repelling liquids. Simply spray the treatment onto your clothes and let it dry completely. While not foolproof, they can significantly reduce the severity of stains and make them easier to remove. Section 4. A stitch in time. So far, we've covered a lot of ground, from tackling coffee catastrophes and wine wipeouts to banishing berry blunders and ink indiscretions. We've learned the importance of acting quickly, choosing the right stain-fighting techniques for different fabric types, and even embracing preventative measures to minimize stain mishaps. But before we wrap up our stain-fighting adventure, let's take a moment to appreciate the value of a little patience and persistence. Stain removal, much like life itself, is not always a quick and easy process. Some stains, those stubborn, deep-set eyesores, require a bit more coaxing, a little extra TLC. They might test our patience, push us to the brink of stain-induced despair. But it's in these moments, when we're tempted to throw in the towel or the stained garment, that we must remember the power of persistence. Don't be discouraged if a stain doesn't disappear immediately after the first attempt. Sometimes it takes multiple treatments, a combination of techniques, a little trial and error to achieve stain-free victory. Keep experimenting, keep trying different methods, and most importantly, don't give up on your stained garments just yet. With a little patience and a whole lot of persistence, even the most stubborn stains can be banished, restoring your clothes and fabrics to their former glory. All right, folks, buckle up, because we're about to enter the battleground of grease stains. These slippery culprits can strike fear into the hearts of even the most seasoned laundry warriors. But fear not, my friends, for I'm here to arm you with the guerrilla tactics needed to conquer these greasy foes. Our first rule of engagement: never hit a fresh grease stain with hot water. Hot water helps grease settle in the fibers of your fabric. Instead, use cold water as our first line of defense. Run the stained garment under cold water, working from the back of the fabric. You might be surprised how much of the grease will budge with this simple tactic. If grease stains are the guerrilla fighters of the stain world, oil stains are the slick, silent assassins. But don't despair, my friends, for we've got the smackdown strategies to send those oil slicks packing. Absorb the oil with baking soda or cornstarch. These household heroes draw out the oil, brush off the powder, and assess the situation. Pre-treat with a mix of vinegar and dish soap. Apply, work it in, and let it sit before laundering. This potent combo breaks down oil and lifts the stain. Section 3. Product Power-Ups. While those home remedies we just discussed are definitely effective, sometimes you need to call in the big guns, those specialized stain-fighting warriors engineered to tackle even the most stubborn grease and oil adversaries. Fear not, fellow stain slayers, for the cleaning aisle is our arsenal, stocked with product power-ups ready to join our fight. One such weapon in our arsenal is the enzyme-based cleaner. These cleaning agents are like microscopic Pac-Men, gobbling up grease and oil molecules with relentless efficiency. Look for enzyme-based cleaners specifically designed for laundry stains and follow the product instructions carefully. Usually, you'll apply the cleaner directly to the stain, let it sit for a specified amount of time, then launder the garment as usual. Another powerful ally in our stain-fighting quest is the pre-treatment spray, or stick. These handy helpers are like spot treatments for stains, delivering a concentrated dose of stain-fighting power directly to the affected area. Apply the pre-treatment generously to the stain, working it in gently with your fingers or a soft bristled brush. Allow it to sit for the recommended amount of time, then toss the garment into the wash. Remember, folks, when using any stain removal product, always test it on a hidden area of the fabric first to ensure it doesn't cause any discoloration or damage. It's better to be safe than sorry, especially when dealing with delicate fabrics or vibrant colors. Section 4. Tenacious Stain Tactics. Now let's face it, some grease and oil stains are just plain stubborn. They dig their heels in, refusing to budge no matter how many times we hit them with our best stain-fighting weapons. But don't despair, my friends, for even the most tenacious stains can be conquered with a combination of persistence, ingenuity, and a few more tricks up our sleeves. One tactic for tackling those deep-set stains is to employ a multi-pronged approach, combining different methods for maximum impact. For instance, you might start with a baking soda or cornstarch treatment to absorb as much oil as possible. Then, follow up with an enzyme-based cleaner to break down any remaining grease molecules. Finally, hit the stain with a pre-treatment spray or stick before laundering the garment as usual. Another strategy for dealing with stubborn stains is to repeat the cleaning process multiple times. Sometimes it takes a few rounds of treatment to completely lift the stain from the fabric. Don't be discouraged if you don't see results immediately. Keep at it, and eventually, even the most tenacious stains will surrender to your stain-fighting prowess. And remember, folks, sometimes the best defense is a good defense. By taking preventative measures like pre-treating stains as soon as they happen and being mindful of potential grease and oil hazards, we can minimize the likelihood of these slippery culprits leaving their mark on our clothes and fabrics. Section 1. Mud Mayhem. Let's dive into a stain scenario that's all too familiar. Mud mayhem. One minute you're enjoying a stroll, the next you're staring at a muddy mess on your jeans. Before you declare those jeans a lost cause, let's explore some mud-busting strategies. Let the mud dry completely. Dry mud crumbles, making it easier to remove. Shake or brush off the loose dirt. Now, pre-treat the remaining stain. Create a paste with baking soda and water. Apply the paste and work it in gently. Allow it to dry, then brush it off and marvel at the difference. Next up, let's tackle another outdoor adventure adversary: grass stains. These verdant villains with their chlorophyll-charged pigments can be surprisingly stubborn, clinging to fabric with the tenacity of a vine clinging to a brick wall. But fear not, fellow nature enthusiasts, for we've got the green thwarting strategies to restore your clothes to their former glory. Just like with mud stains, our first move in the battle against grass stains is to resist the urge to immediately throw the garment in the wash. Instead, we're going to pre-treat those green blemishes with a potent concoction that's as effective as it is readily available in most kitchens: white vinegar. White vinegar, with its acidic nature, acts as a natural stain remover, helping to break down the chlorophyll molecules that give grass stains their stubbornness. Pour a small amount of white vinegar directly onto the stain, ensuring the entire affected area is saturated. Allow the vinegar to work its magic for at least 30 minutes, or even overnight for particularly stubborn stains. While the vinegar is working its way into those grass stains, let's talk about another powerful ally in our green-fighting arsenal: liquid dish soap. Yes, folks, the same stuff you use to tackle greasy dishes can also pack a punch against grass stains. After the vinegar has had ample time to work its magic, apply a small amount of liquid dish soap directly to the stain, gently working it in with your fingers or a soft bristled brush. Section 3. Blood Battle Plan. Now let's address a stain scenario that can be a bit more concerning than your average mud splattering or grass stain encounter blood stains. Whether it's a minor cut, a nosebleed, or a more serious injury, dealing with blood stains requires prompt action and a calm, collected approach. But fear not, my friends, for we've got the battle plan to tackle these crimson culprits head-on. Our first and most crucial rule in the bloodstain battle plan is to always, and I mean always, use cold water. Remember that warm embrace we talked about earlier, the one that helps grease stains settle in? Well, hot water has a similar effect on blood stains, causing the proteins in blood to coagulate and cling even tighter to fabric fibers. Cold water, on the other hand, helps to prevent this coagulation, making the stain easier to remove. So, as soon as that bloodstain mishap occurs, grab your stained garment and immediately rinse it under a stream of cold water, working from the back of the fabric to push the stain out. You'll be surprised how much of the blood will simply wash away with this simple yet crucial step. Once you've given the stain a good cold water rinsing, it's time to bring in some additional reinforcements. One effective method involves creating a paste using either baking soda or cornstarch and a bit of cold water. Apply this paste liberally to the bloodstain, covering the entire affected area. Allow the paste to dry completely, acting as a magnet to draw out the remaining blood particles from the fabric. Section 4. triumphant stain victories. Congratulations, fellow stain-fighting champions. We've journeyed through the trenches of stain removal, from tackling everyday spills and splatters to conquering those stubborn, deep-set adversaries. We've learned the importance of acting quickly, choosing the right weapons for each stain type, and embracing the power of persistence. But most importantly, we've emerged from this stain-fighting saga armed with the knowledge and confidence to tackle any stain challenge that comes our way. Remember those coffee catastrophes that once sent shivers down your spine? Now, you greet them with a knowing smile, armed with your trusty baking soda and cold water solution. Those grass stains that seemed permanently etched into your kids' clothes? They're no match for your vinegar and dish soap tag team. And those bloodstains that once filled you with dread? You've got them on lockdown thanks to your cold water rinsing and absorbent paste power move. But our stain-fighting journey doesn't end here, my friends. It's an ongoing adventure, a constant quest to keep our clothes, fabrics, and lives free from those unwelcome blemishes. Section 1. Stain Removal Recap. So there you have it, folks. The ultimate guide to removing stains like a pro. We've covered a lot of ground today, from coffee spills to grease splatters and everything in between. Remember, the key to successful stain removal is threefold. Act fast, know your fabrics, and choose the right tools for the job. The sooner you address a stain, the better your chances of removing it completely. Don't let those unwelcome guests overstay their welcome. Next, familiarize yourself with your fabrics. Delicates like silk require a gentler touch than sturdy denim. Always check those care labels before you unleash your stain-fighting arsenal. And speaking of arsenals, remember those everyday household heroes we talked about? Baking soda, white vinegar, dish soap. These readily available ingredients are like the Swiss Army knives of stain removal. Keep them stocked in your laundry room, and you'll be ready to tackle any stain challenge that comes your way. Don't be afraid to experiment and find what works best for you. But most importantly, remember that stain removal is not an exact science. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, stains persist. And that's okay. Don't let a few lingering marks dampen your spirits. Embrace the imperfections and remember that a little wear and tear tells a story of a life well lived, a life full of adventures, mishaps, and those inevitable spills and splatters. Section 2. Stay tuned for more. And there you have it. You're now armed with the knowledge and tools to tackle any stain with confidence. Remember, a little know-how goes a long way in the battle against blemishes. But wait, there's more. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to conquering those everyday challenges and living your best, most efficient life. If you found these stain-fighting tips helpful, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the How To channel for more awesome how-to content. We've got a treasure trove of tips and tricks coming your way, covering everything from home improvement and DIY projects to cooking hacks and life-changing organizational strategies. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload, and be sure to share this video with your friends, family, and fellow stain-fighting warriors. Let's spread the knowledge and banish those blemishes together. Until next time, keep those clothes clean, those spirits high, and those stain-fighting skills sharp. Want to know how to improve your memory and focus today? Click the video here or the link in the description below for more information.